I'm Chris for MyMMAnews.com, being joined once again by my man, the CFFC welterweight champion of the world, Bassil Hafez. He is taking on Evan the Butcher Cuts in just a couple weeks. April 1st, CFFC 94. My man Bassil is defending his title for the first time. First and foremost, Bassil, we've known each other for a while, brother. We've been doing this for a while. How are you?
Good, man. Good to see you. I appreciate you having me on here. Can't wait
Always,
to
man.
defend that
Always.
title, man, April 1st.
Yes. So April 1st, how did this fight come together, man? This guy, Evan Butcher Cuts, is coming from Texas. They're flying a guy in from Texas to take on Bassil Hafez. You're out in Factory X right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you
In
have to
Denver.
come flying back into Philly. So, one, how did this matchup come to fruition, first and foremost?
So, CFFC came back to me a couple times with names. I said I was like, I said yes to them. I was still at the time still figuring out my next fight camp where I was going to be doing it, and was in the process of switching gyms. And my management was like, all right, let's just wait to figure it out, And then I came out to they came back with CFC came back with another date, and I was like, yeah, this seems like enough time. I still didn't sign the contract there because I wasn't sure about training. And then once I came out to Factory X, it was just like, it was I vibed right away. It was great. It's a great gym, amazing gym, great training partners, awesome dudes, beasts. And Coach Mark Montoya is a genius when it comes to striking. Reminds me a lot of my coach Andy Russell in Philly. Very similar styles, very similar fight knowledge. And I like Mark's style a lot. I like how he emphasizes the technical points and the parts that help me improve as a fighter. And then it's it's different for every guy. So he's a dude. He's a genius and great person as well. Great motivator, great coach. I'm excited to get a finish on April 1st side by side with him. And represent Factory X.
Absolutely, man. But again, back to what we were just talking about. You were talking about Andy Russell, big balance guy. You've been a huge balance guy for a long time. You've gotten a lot of great things out of them, and I'm sure you're going to continue when you get back into Philly or whenever. But what I'm talking about is your move from balance to Factory X. What was the dynamic of that? Because obviously you and Balance, you have a great relationship. It's nothing like that. But what happened?
I was at Balance, and I've been at Balance my whole career. I started off at Balance / Fight Factory, Philadelphia Fight Factory in Philadelphia, for a little bit, and then it was basically Balance my whole career, fighting career, and it got to the point where a lot of guys were retired or guys were stopped fighting and started families, started businesses, different things, guys that were like the hammers in the gym. And, it just the structure was leaning more towards jiu-jitsu and away from MMA. I understand it's a business, you have to support for your family. So Ricardo Miglioris has always been in my corner. He's a brother, he's a mentor, he's a father figure to me, he's everything. I love that guy to death, and I always will appreciate him, and I always will be a Ricardo Miglioris Balance black belt. And it's just a situation where it's better for me to now find a camp that is going to help me get to the next level with MMA. I've done everything I can in jiu-jitsu right now. I definitely want to come back to it, and Balance is always my home for jiu-jitsu. But with the way things were, and guys leaving the gym and guys not showing up, and being very hard to get the right training, and not being able to beat up on Rick every day alone. So it kind of was the right time. We had agreement that I needed to find a camp that was going to help me get to the next level, and I'm happy I found Factory X. It worked out. This is my new home right now, and I'll be moving to Denver after the fight, and excited. I'm really excited for the things I'm going to produce with this gym.
And gym dynamics are always different no matter where you go. Obviously, Balance, great gym. Factory X, amazing gym too. But leading into the MMA realm of things, Factory X has a lot of guys, UFC. I mean, they're pumping out a lot of big MMA fighters right now. So can you tell me what Factory X has added onto your game?
They've added a lot, man. There's so much attention to detail here. Not that my original striking coach, Andy Russell, I think he's one of the smartest guys I've ever met when it comes to striking. Picking his brain, talking to him, you understand that anyone can, and you can anytime, and you'd be like, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. He understands fight IQ, and he's a little older, and it's tough, right now. So it's tough for him to continue to do the things that he wants to do as a coach and corral fighters around. Because he's not an MMA coach, and he's just he was coaching me and coaching a couple other fighters because he's passionate about it and he cares about us. But so the things I'm learning here are kind of like adding on to that. Andy did a great job with teaching me so many good technical things that I've picked up and learned and been able to do. But Mark's adding a whole nother book to the game. So it's like I had one book of technicalness and smart fighting and things that I've picked up from Andy, and now a new book I'm learning with Mark is how to be able to do everything I want to my opponent at any point and be able to learn how to build it and get it. So if that makes any sense, it's like I have to be able to create the openings and not just fight, And so Mark teaches so many good things with footwork, with movement, with punches, with combinations, with feints, with whatever it may be. Everything I've learned from him has been stuff I can practically use right away, and I love it. So I think I'm just adding more to my game, and I'm getting more comfortable as an MMA fighter and a stand-up fighter and an overall fighter. So I'm just adding more to my game here. I'm adding more, and I'm excited for this next book I'm going to write with Mark. And I'm going to become a beast and a warrior more than I am now from it.
So Evan Cutts has more experience than you as far as in cage experience, right? So
yeah, he's got more fights than me.
Right, 11-4. He's submission heavy. He's a BJJ black belt as well. What's your personal take on him as an opponent?
He's a tough fighter. He's a game fighter. He's got good ground game. He's got striking as well. And I feel I still am better than him in all areas. I said this I was going against Christian Savoie. I felt that I was better than him in all areas. And I know that my fight experience maybe not be as much as some guys because I've had injuries, because I've had things to slip up. But, I know that I'm a good fighter, a great fighter, and I know I'm going to improve. So when I see Evan Cutts, I just see another test. I see another guy that I'm going to try and finish. And I'm going to try and continue my streak, and I will be and still welterweight champion. That's my belief, and it's something I know is going to happen. Evan's a good, tough fighter, but I feel that if it goes to the ground, I can submit him and I can ground and pound and I can finish him in any way. And if it's on the feet, I feel confident that I'll be able to hit him with punches and he won't be able to take my power. I know I have power, and I know I don't do a lot of stand-up in my fights, so people don't know about it. But if you look at the stand-up that I have done, I've clipped people and I dazed people when I hit them. So, man, I'm just becoming a well-rounded fighter here, and I'm excited to show wherever the fight goes with Evan. I know that I'm going to be better.
I want to talk about your mental approach to things because, like you were just talking about with Christian Savoie, he also had the experience. He was undefeated when you guys fought. And Evan, he's going to be, more experienced than you when you guys fight. None of that ever seems to bother you. You're just ready to grind, and it doesn't even seem to phase you. One, does it actually phase you and you're just putting on the greatest face ever? Or two, where does this mental tenacity come from that no matter what, you're ready to go and records, anything, doesn't matter?
Yeah, I mean, we're fighters, man. We're fighters. That's what we are. We're not nitpickers, and we don't get to choose what happens. We fight whoever gets presented to us. At different times, you get to, just to me, it's just natural. I don't know. I fought a lot growing up. Like, I don't know if a lot of fighters, I'm pretty sure a lot of fighters got into street fights. Some haven't. They played sports and whatever it may be. But I've gotten into street fights my whole life growing up. Gotten into fights with, a bunch of people. I have been training in the gym for a long time. I fought tough guys in the UFC, train with guys in the UFC, train with beasts. I do all the application needed to be able to get the confidence that I have. It's not just fronted. People can put on a facade, but I'm not scared of my opponent ever. I have that. If I was scared, I wouldn't be fighting. I wouldn't be an MMA fighter. So to me, it's just, also I've experienced things in life, experienced losses both my parents, lost other family members, friends, close people, experienced injuries, car accidents, almost dying. I've experienced a lot of things at 29 years old, more than I feel like a lot of 29-year-olds have. And maybe guys more experienced more than me, but you build that over time. And I feel like where I'm at now mentally is only going to improve, and I'm only going to improve as a fighter to surround that mental. And, I don't care who it is. I'm confident, and I'm able to look at the fighter and see how I know I can beat them and believe in that,
And what you were just talking about was saying you're very familiar with fighting. You've always fought the toughest, and you've never handpicked or anything like that. You and I both know that there's a lot of fighters that they will handpick their opponents and pad their records so they can get their shot at the next show and try and play it smart. You're not one of those people. You'll take on any comers. That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying the mental structure being a little different. Can you agree on that?
100%. I agree. I agree with that. I mean, look, the there are times when you get a list of names and you look at the names and you're gonna say, okay, which one has to me, it's not just about best matchups, but okay, this guy's got a lot of fights. This looks like I can be an experienced fighter. I can beat this guy, or it's like, okay, this guy's the savage that everybody's saying is good. Okay, I'm at this point where now I got to fight this guy. I know I'm gonna beat him. It's like, there's different points for that, but at the end of the day, like, it's so true that fighters sometimes, I'm not all fighters. There's a lot of fighters that are tough as fuck, and I love that. And I'm around a lot of tough fighters at the gym that don't do that shit. So I love that you can't fake it on the mat and you can't fake it in the gym. You can't fake it in the cage. But like, there's guys that do pick their fights and they try and play it safe till they get to the UFC, and then they realize and they get a one tough fight there. They say, okay, but if you had those tough fights early, maybe you're undefeated, maybe you have a loss, maybe whatever it may be. But you get those tough fights early and you improve as a fighter and you actually are a good fighter, you're going to be better in the long run. You're not going to just get signed. You're going to get signed and you're going to flourish. You're going to continue to fight and stay there. That's the hardest part, staying there. Mm-hmm. People can get signed off of a whim, off of a short notice. I want to get to the UFC or get to a top promotion, and I want to stay there. I want to get to the belt. I want to do everything I can while my body still lets me, and I want to leave a legacy behind. Leave people saying, I want to watch that dude fight again.
Well, I'm pretty sure you've gotten that kind of reputation thus far because you've always come to bring it and you're always entertaining in the fight. And I'm not just saying that from a fan or friend perspective. I'm saying that just from media as well, talking to other media and other media members that I do talk to that say when Bassil Hafez gets in the cage, there's no BS about it. You're going to get into a fight, and that's just is what it is. But talking about this fight with Evan, you guys both Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts. On paper, anybody can say, oh, well, BJJ versus BJJ. But a lot of times, as you well know, the BJJ nullifies each other in the fight as far as MMA goes because there is so many facets to the game. How do you think this fight's going to go?
To an extent, I believe that's true. I believe there's a lot of different black belts, different levels of black belts. There's some black belts that you're like, why is this guy a black belt? And there's some people that are like, yeah, he's a black belt. That's it. No, there's period. That's it. But so I'm one of those black belts, I'm not saying Evan isn't one of those black belts. He could be a great grappler in the gym. Watching his style, I believe I do very well against people like that style in terms of grappling. And I think it's a stylistic matchup when you look at grappling. So some people say black belt nullifies. That's like a very, casual, or not saying you have that view, but
right.
In general,
I'm on paper.
Have that view, when people have that view, it's a very casual, simple view. And so you don't look at like, okay, well, this guy's a black belt. When you look at the grappling style and watch them both grapple, okay, you have an idea of what one would do to the other. So to me, it's like, we're both black belts. I feel like our styles clash in different ways. We're two different styles. I've seen him grapple, and I know that I like to grapple guys like that. I like to go and submit guys like that or control guys like that and ground and pound. I also like to fight guys like that on the feet because I've seen him stand up as well, and I see how he is. I mean, look, the way I see it is he's a tough guy. He's not a bum, I give him his respect. I'm just a better fighter, and I'm going to prove that I'm a much better fighter. And I got to prove that against Christian Savoie, a tough fighter as well. I believe he'll be in the next level soon. He's not a slouch, and he was a strong dude, and he gave me good defense for a lot of things. But end all be all, I came and I showed what I can do and what I'm able to produce in the cage. And so I'm excited to do that against Evan. He's a tough guy, but I will finish him. He hasn't been finished. I will be the first one to finish him.
Where are you better than him overall?
Everywhere. Stand up, wrestling, clinch, jiu-jitsu. That's what I believe. Call me crazy. I mean, I don't know. This is just a good matchup, I feel, for me. I feel he's a tough test, and but a good test. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to get in there and fight him.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have a fight. He's gonna. I've seen him fight. We're gonna have a scrap.
Right.
But, by the end of it, I will have my hand raised by finish.
And this will be obviously title defense. You'll be 2-0 as welterweight champion of CFFC, pending your win. Obviously, you're not coming to lose. When do you think you could feasibly get that call to the UFC?
Man, I don't know. I thought, Christian.
It has to be coming.
I heard Christian was high up on the list for them, and if he would have beat me, that he would have got. I heard that from a few people, and so I didn't get the call. I'm not upset about it. I mean, obviously, I want to get the call, but it's not just about the call. It's about staying there, like I said. So, maybe they don't think I'm ready. But my goal is after this fight to prove that I am ready. And I hope I do get the call after, I will go in there. I'm going to fight my ass off. I will get my hand raised. I will still be the champion. And I will leave, hopefully, CFFC as a welterweight champion and get signed to a large promotion. That is my goal, and I believe that's going to happen, hopefully, after this fight. If I win this fight and I don't get signed, then I have to fight another guy and beat another guy. And then I will get signed. But, hey, I think I'm ready now. I think I'm ready after this fight. It's just about them giving me the opportunity.
And you've been one to see his opportunities for your fighting career as long as I've known you. So you saying you want to give this guy his first finish on his record. How do you finish Evan the Butcher Cuts?
I'm not going to be Mystic Mac here. I can't do that.
I
go off whatever he gives me. It's like, guys can show something on footage and then they give you something in the cage. But it's going to be, I'm not going to tell you. It's going to be a surprise, but it's going to be a finish.
Do you have an idea in your head?
I have a couple ideas. I see a couple different scenarios. So that's why it's hard for me to say it's going to happen this one way, Mm-hmm. And I understand some people like to do that. That's them. But I guarantee it's going to be a fun fight to watch. I'm going to put on the show, and that will end with me getting my finish and my hand raised and getting the belt wrapped around my waist or I'm put on my shoulder. But you're going to see. I have a few ideas of how it's going to happen, and we'll see what he gives me in the cage and how he responds and what his game plan is for this fight, because that's going to depend on what I do. I'm not going to take the hard road. I'm going to take the best road.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to start winding it down, man, but I do want to take you just down a little bit of memory lane and just bring you up to speed just casually.
Yeah, let's do it.
And just work with me, if you will, because it might get a little touchy just because with your history and knowing just a bit about you, man, we're going to go retrospect. 2019, you had the car accident, not knowing if you almost didn't make it out alive, didn't know if you were going to be able to fight again. And then you had the meniscus tears. You had to get 3 different surgeries to recover from that. Not even knowing if you would get the chance to even get back to where you were previously. It's all these things that were stacked against you. 2020, you get back, you win that championship. Now 2021, you're set to defend your championship, looking to potentially get into the UFC in 2021. My question is to you, with all of the losses and everything in your life, what do you think your mom and dad think right now about their son about to make his title defense on April 1st?
Man, I think they'd be happy for me. And I think they'd be happy that I'm doing something I love. And I hope they'd be proud of me, as a man. Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
I still got more work to do. I'm 29.
You do.
And they're going to tell me good job. I said I still got more to do.
And you do have more to do. You're going to get it done on April 1st. We'll see what happens for you in the future, but I always appreciate you taking the time, Bassil. I love getting the time to talk to you. I love getting to catch up with you. I love seeing your fight career coming to fruition. I wish you nothing but the best of luck, man. Thank you for joining me.
Adam, I appreciate you so much, man. I appreciate my MMA news. Yeah, we've been doing this for a long time, and I'm happy that I'm getting interviewed by you.
I appreciate that, man. Last but not least, your social media, your sponsors. Where can they keep up with Bassil Hafez? Hit them.
Yes. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, but I don't use it much. I'm on Instagram at Bassil_Badre. If you say it right, it's at Bassil_Bedr. And I'm going to thank my sponsors. I'm going to thank all the guys helped me for this fight, my gym, my team. I'm going to thank Delco Steaks, Blade and Badger Barbershop, Dependable Solutions, Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club in Philadelphia, Evolve Meal Preps, Leonard Altieri Township Representative, Mobility Intel, May Restaurant, Turnersville Family Dentistry, Westchester Pizza Cafe, best pizza in the area, Denver Sports Recovery, Landau Performance, 100% Factory X and Coach Mark Montoya and all my teammates, all my training partners throughout this camp, all the beasts in the gym that's helped get me ready, and best management in the game. Iridium Sports, Jason House, Jeremy, and Jacob. Thank you, guys.
Bassil Hafez, thank you so much, brother.
I did it right this time. I did the sponsors good and stuff. Right? Last time I messed up. I think this is the most solid one.
You did pretty good, man. We're getting there. Nah, man. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, brother.
Thanks so much, Adam.
There he goes. April 1st, it's going down at CFFC 94. My man Bassil Hafez is defending his welterweight strap against Evan the Butcher Cuts. He says he's going to give him his first loss as a professional, and it's going to be going down on UFC Fight Pass exclusively. For Bassil Hafez, I am Adam Christ. Make sure you keep it locked to mymmanews.com for all your fight news needs.